Okay, I'm going to speak about the modern status of pinnipeds and sea otter on Commander Islands. You can see on this map where these Commander's Islands are, right? It is this Commander's illusion semicircle, as we call them, and I have included the data on the counts of different animals. That is the fur seal and the sea otters. They behave quite differently. And that is why the methodology used for counting these animals was different. For example, the northern sea lion count. This was done at the beginning of July. Because this is the beginning of the breeding period. And we also can observe the maximum numbers of animals. So they do not leave for other rookeries. We were using both the binoculars and also drones for photographing some remote areas. As for the eastern rookery, it was the Isle of Medney, we received data provided by the specialists who work there. And this group is headed by Vladimir Burkanov and Natalia Laskina, our moderator as well. So I would like to thank you for providing this data to us. Then the Northern First Sea count was done slightly different. It was August. We used a drone and it was flying above the rookeries where we could observe pups of first seal counts. Then these photographs were analyzed and we used different software for this. It is Agisoft, Photoscan and a PTGUI Pro. And also we used automatic counts. This count was done for sub-areas on the Commander's Islands. And the whole population of northern fur seal was counted using a factor. A factor is 44747, and it depends on the number of pups. And in 2018, for 2018 data for the southern and eastern rookery, these data were provided by the specialists of the TIG of the Russian Academy of Sciences. The major method for harbor seal count, we used air photography, and these were drones. The height of the flight is 60-70 meters, and at this height drones don't frighten animals. And we collected this data in June, and it was shown in the past that the first 10 days of July, this is the end of this period. We used a certain factor for calculating the total number, because not all the animals were counted, they were in water. So the overall number is reached through this formula. Okay, so that was harbor seal count, and now the fourth animal, it is sea otter. And this was done only for the Bering Island. Of course, in the around this Island and other islands as well. So this was done in 2017 and 2019. And as I said, that in 2019, the whole area was analyzed. And we used a boat for this. Okay, so we were moving along the sea algae areas where sea otters aggregate, and it is about 2 kilometers from the shore, and we can observe lots of sea otters here. And we also take into account the numbers identified not in these areas, but also individual animals that could be observed from the shore. This is the aggregate numbers. The aggregate numbers. I cannot show you a video. All right, so okay, now I hope you can hear me. Right, this table includes all the numbers on a stellar sea lion. This is, see, by the year 2017, 18, and 19. Vladimir Burkanov spoke about the sea lion counts in 2019. Okay, we see, you see here we have some additional data, and it gives a good picture of what is happening there right now. Okay, so the Commanders Islands, we see there were 400 plus animals of a certain age, and this the number of pups, again you can see it, yeah, so 370, and then 2019 447 animals, adult animals, and 178 pups. And we see that they also breed on the Ari Kamen Island. And in 2020, on this island, 9 pups were born. So there is some share of probability that a rookery will appear on this island, and it will be a reproductive rookery. Regularly from 2010, they breed on Severney Island rookery. As for the northwest, we see that from 1 to 2 pups are regularly born there. And now the numbers of a stellar sea lion. Have a look. On the left, this diagram demonstrates the dynamics of the adult number. It is 1 year plus age, and we see that after 2009, the numbers are falling. And on the right, we can see the pups counts dynamics, and it reflects the reduction in the number of pups in all rookeries. It is at a quite low level. In the recent years, maybe 10 years, we see there's some redistribution of newly born pups. So some females, they left the northern rookery. It used to be the main one at these islands, but now they breed in other rookeries. And although reproduction stays at this level, but the number of pups doesn't grow. Now the next species, the northern fur seal, you see the number of pups. Okay, it includes all the rookeries, and we also used the special index to identify the overall population. So this is the following picture, and we see that the number of pups was changing. See, for up to 62,000. Yeah, and the overall population okay, changed from 265,000 to 280,000 animals. In 2020, this Bagrovaya company, rookery for single males, there were hundreds of animals, and there was also one pup identified. And the Minaki rookery, again, in the past it was a reproductive rookery, but now it is not. Now these are dynamics for the northern fur seal counts, and we see that the whole population is quite stable. It's been like that since the end of the 1990s, and you see the numbers remain at the same level. Now, a harbor seal. Harbor seal was counted in 2017, 18, and 19. And as I previously described, in 2017, we counted animals at different islands, and we identified the biggest rookeries, and also we calculated the share of the animals in big rookeries and other rookeries, which are smaller in size. So in 2018, we didn't do a survey in these islands because there was no opportunity for this, but we extrapolated because we had information for those biggest rookeries, and we reached these numbers. And then 2019, again, the Bering Island, the biggest rookeries, we had counts for this, and also the Medny Island. Again, we had all the numbers, and we see that, okay, so these are the numbers. So in the Medny Island, there were only 52 pups and 351 adult animals. And we can compare it with other rookeries as well. Our estimates are estimates of the harbor seal on Commander Islands. This is the lowest line. So we see that from 3,300, yeah, it moved to 3,200. 1 minute left. Thank you very much. Okay, so historic dynamics. We see that this has been quite stable. And now sea otters. Okay, so Commander's Island counts. You see that in 2016 it was 3,600, but in 2019 less than 2,000. The density is demonstrated on this map. Okay, it is this Nikolsky Raid Bay. And as for the Isle of Medny, again, we see that it is this southern tip and in the north. And the total number is now only 45% of the numbers in 2016. These are some trends showing that the number of sea otter goes down. So this is the overall dynamics, including the counts made onshore. And historically, for all Commander Islands and also for specific islands. So we can see that the stellar sea lions, they remain at the same level. Then the fur seal population has been stable for about 25 years. Then harbor seal population is not yet clear. And in conclusion, I would like to thank the whole team that took part in this, all the organizations that supported us. And I would like to thank you for your attention. If there are any questions, I will be happy to answer.